Hi, my name is David Turner, and I own Turner Bicycles. We're here in Las Vegas in 2009, getting ready for the 2010 model year, and we're looking at the FLUX right now. We're going to talk about some of the changes that we've made for 2010, and a lot of stuff that wasn't changed. Basically, the FLUX and its siblings, the 5-spot and the Sultan, were all new last year with the DW Link. The DW Link, as I've mentioned, and I'm sure so many people know about, it is the best pedaling, fully active rear suspension linkage on the market. And of course, I'm biased, but we've got a lot of people and a year's worth of comments from people, customers, test riders, dealers, etc., to back this up. The DW Link, Dave Weigel, the patent holder on it, he has, I believe, fine-tuned beyond what anybody else in the industry has been able to do to get a bike that when you're pedaling as hard as you can, and on a FLUX, which has got a 4-inch bike, so obviously a very cross-country oriented, wanting to cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time type rider. You want a bike that's not going to bob, it's going to put all the power to the ground, but at the same time, when you're in the rough, whether it be roots or rocks, is going to be compliant. If it isn't a fully active bike, I really don't see the need of even riding full suspension. If it's going to lock out, ride a hardtail. You're not going to get the benefit for most of your cross-country ride. So this bike will still absorb rocks and roots or ditches, whatever, while you're climbing, keep traction, going to the ground, and allow you to really, lay down hours and hours of riding with less fatigue. Like the Sultan and the 5-spot, we went to the post-mount brake system. You can see it clearly here. One of the things that we did when we did this is we put inserts with the threads inside the post-mount, and this, in case somebody were to maybe over-tighten or not get the bolt quite in alignment with the threads when installing the caliper, instead of stripping out a very expensive rear triangle, they would only be out a very inexpensive little machine part. The post-mount system, very solid way to mount a caliper. It's also very clean because we don't have an adapter there anymore. For 15 years, we've used, in all of our cross-country bikes, we've used a Kevlar composite journal bearing, or as some in the industry call it, bushing, running on a hard anodized, centerless ground aluminum shafts, so there's no chance of corrosion or rusting in there. With the grease fittings, occasionally greasing the system will keep any water out that's seeped in through our seals. We went to a brightly colored seal, because in the past we had these black rubber seals to protect the from the big chunks of dirt getting down into the pivot system, and wanted to go to the brighter colors just to kind of show off that we do have a seal there. This year, going to a paint to match rear end. A lot of people thought that was a pretty thing and wanted their custom bikes done that way, so a little research. We showed it on our demo bikes and in our indoor booth to kind of test the waters, because for 15 years we've always done polished rear ends. Well, it's unanimous. Everybody's really liking the color matched front ends, as we've done on the 5-spot and the Sultan. Not a lot of changes. These bikes have only been on the market a year. We went to individual cable guides on the down tube. This allowed a zip tie to more firmly clamp the hose to the single cable guide, and less chance of sliding around with the function of the rear suspension tugging away on the brake line or the rear derailleur cable. One of the things I want to mention is that all of the bikes this year are available as completes with 3 completely different parts kits to hit 3 different price points. One of the things in the past that Turners have seemed to have, excuse me, that are very expensive. The frames are made in the United States, and the labor costs are high, obviously material, finishing, etc. But when we put a complete bike together with top rated parts for a given price range. This parts kit here on the FLUX is the what we call our Pro kit. So it's got, you know, Easton carbon fiber seat post, bar, A90 stem, a King headset, US built Industry 9 wheels with stands, ZTR arch rims, full XTR drivetrain, and the lightest brakes in the world from Formula, the R1. This bike ends up being very competitively priced against any import of equal quality or equipment available in the United States. So we're pretty stoked about that. We have 2 full steps lower, one the Expert with the mostly XT drivetrain with the Formula brakes, and then a trail kit with the SLX drivetrain, and again, all name brand components from Easton and Raceface, ODI grips, titanium saddles on the higher end stuff from WTB. All these things I think are adding to quite a good value when you look at a complete bike.